Welcome to episode 3 of Generation 2 of the Perfect Genetics Challenge. We've got 3 pregnant Sims in the household. That's Donna sitting in the rocking chair, she's just become pregnant, and Carla standing up chatting to Bill. Now Carla is expecting quads and she's on the verge of giving birth. And our 3rd pregnant Sim is Bill's wife, Cindy. And Cindy is our heir, and she hasn't had any babies yet because she has recently aged up to young adult and got married to Bill. And so now she's starting her family, and she'll be ready to give birth not long after Carla does. And there is Cindy sitting in the rocking chair now. She grabbed it as soon as Donna stood up. Of course, Donna's husband is Gary, and Gary is Cindy's oldest brother. And Carla's husband is James, and James is Cindy's brother too. He is her 2nd eldest brother, and there's James. Shortly, the 3 had wandered off, and Carla discovered the chair was empty and decided to sit and have a rest, but as soon as she sat down, she started to go into labour. And here she is. And that's her husband James, just walked straight past her, took no notice that she's just given birth to a beautiful little baby girl. And that's her 2nd child, little Jimmy, her son, the only boy she had. She had 3 girls and 1 boy. And the girls were called Amelia, Betty and Francine. And here she is, going to give birth to another one. She's had 2 so far. I had been hoping to get her to have her babies at the hospital, but when it was time to go, I clicked on them and there was no option for hospital. And later on I did a search around town and discovered, there was no hospital in the world, so I added one. James has come to check on his wife and their new family, but she's got 1 more left to deliver. She's happy. Her lifetime wish is surrounded by family, so she still needs 1 more. And I'm thinking, since they've both had fertility treatment, I probably won't risk another pregnancy. But what I might do is get her to plant a forbidden fruit seed at some point, and they can have a plant sim baby. There's quite a lot of plant sims in this game, and I'm going to be moving a lot of sims from Moonlit Falls, which is the main world, which is overpopulated, and I'm going to move them to this world. Cindy's off to the hospital. She's ready to give birth to her baby now. Wonder if it's going to be an heir. To be her heir, it's going to have her hair and eye colour. She's got pink and blonde hair and pink eyes, and Bill's taking her to the hospital. But Cindy wanted to make sure they got there on time, so she drove. Bill sat beside her as the passenger, just giving her moral support. And here they are. Lucky I put the hospital in after Carla had the misfortune of not being able to go to hospital. I was looking forward to having quads come home from hospital in their little baskets. And now we wait. And we wait for quite a long time, and the day grows almost into darkness, and then all of a sudden we discover she has managed to have a baby boy. She named him Daryl, and he got the traits of excitable and friendly. And then she had a baby girl, which they called Denise, and she was also excitable and friendly. Cindy came out carrying baby Daryl, and Bill carried their daughter Denise. I wonder if one of those babies is going to be the heir. Will it have Cindy's hair and eye colour or not? Can't wait to find out. We should know when they age up to be toddlers. So now we have only 1 pregnant sim in the household, and here she is, Donna, cuddling one of the baby boys. I think he could be Jimmy, Carla and James's son. I wonder how he'll manage growing up with 3 sisters. The days flew by, and it wasn't long before the quads were toddlers. There's plenty of Sims in the household to teach them all to walk, talk and potty, but they're starting off with their pig boxes and xylophone training. The pair on the left are James and Francine, and the one with the pigtails is Betty. Francine is the only one that inherited James's blue skin. And spin it around and there's Amelia sitting on the other side of the room there, near one of the bedroom doors. Now Cindy and Bill's twins are in their cots, and as usual babies attract a constant stream of Sims who want to pick them up and cuddle them and move them to a different cot. So Donna's gone into the bedroom and so has James, and there goes Petunia. And Carla. And there goes Bill. There's only 2 babies, and all of those Sims are now going to want to pick them up out of their cots and put them in a different one. Don't know how they're going to survive all of this attention. And there is baby Daryl sleeping with his imaginary friend in his cot with him. He's not going to be lonely. Eventually all of the grown-ups decide that they've had enough time with the babies and come out of the bedrooms. We've got enough cots in there. Between the 3 bedrooms there's enough cots for 4 toddlers and 2 babies, and we'll have to add some extras for Donna when she has her baby. The bedrooms are a bit too small for me to give you a good look inside them from ground level, so here we are from above, how I've got them set up so that everybody has got somewhere to sleep. Now there's Bill moving little Daryl around, and Denise is there in the cot there as well. Now I've got babies set in my preferences. The babies are set to be babies for 10 days, and that's not because I want them to stay babies for 10 days. It is because I don't want them to age up on their own too quickly. And the same with the toddlers. I've got them set to maximum age, but I will age them up with birthday cakes or use a mod to age them up instantly when I decide it's time that they went up to the next age bracket. Otherwise it would take me years to get through a game. So I'm going to age up these 2 babies belonging to Bill and Cindy, partly because I want to get them started on their toddler skills so we can get back Moonlit Falls. And also I want to see if either of them have got Cindy's hair and eye colour. In the meantime, James and Carla's toddlers are all working on their toddler skills. I'm going to get them all to do all of their toddler skills plus read all the toddler books before we go back to Moonlit Falls. So everybody's going to have to age up quickly as soon as they've got their skills. And I'm also going to move James and Carla out into their house with their 4 toddlers who will age up the children. And I decided that this would be a perfect opportunity for all of the Sims in the household to learn skills and read books. So Donna's gone and got herself a book to read. Naturally, I'm going to get them all doing their recipes and fishing books, as well as learning other skills. Cindy's enjoying a bit of music, dancing on her own there. And Patricia's just sat down there to help Francine with her xylophone skill and also to improve the relationship that she has with the little toddler. Of course, Patricia is Punia's imaginary friend made real. When Francine had learned all she could from the xylophone, her mother sat down with her and helped her learn the peg box skill. Won't be long before all 4 of the quads have mastered the xylophone and peg box. There's Patricia, she just sat down to help Jimmy with his skill building. And soon it was time for the little toddlers to learn to walk, talk and potty. After that, we'll have them reading books. Now that the xylophones and peg boxes are available, I might age the babies up so that we'll have 6 toddlers all learning different things. There is one toddler sitting, waiting for somebody to come and teach her how to walk. I think we might get Petunia onto that job. Meanwhile, she is playing with her imaginary friend. And there's Petunia. And Patricia there is Petunia's imaginary friend made real. Gary just went and paid a visit to one of the babies. Bill, their father, is in there with them at the moment. We've got to age them up. I want to see if either of them have inherited Cindy's hair and eye colour. Be funny if she gets an heir on her first pregnancy. And Cindy has put her little daughter on the ground so she can spin into her toddler form and become a toddler and start playing with the xylophone and peg box. And we will then see if she has inherited her mother's hair and eye colour, because that's what she's going to need if she's going to become the heir. Cindy was the only one to inherit Olivia's hair and eye colour. So James is putting Betty in the cot. Wonder if she's learnt to walk yet. I'll have to check that shortly. Oh look, she's got her mother's hair. Just got to check the eyes. That'd be amazing if she was the heir after just one pregnancy. Now it's time for Daryl to age up and see what colour hair he ends up with. If he's got the same coloured hair as his mother, to check his eyes and see if they're pink. And Carla does the honours this time, picks him up carefully and gently puts him on the floor. And let's see what happens. Uh-oh, he doesn't have any hair. Looks like he's got to go in to create a sim, and we'll give him some hair and see what colour it is. I see he's inherited his grandfather's green skin. Cindy was very hungry and needed a bottle straight away. And I checked her eyes, and sadly, she's not the heir. She has brown eyes. Both of the newly aged up toddlers have now been into stylist. Denise seems to have inherited her father's pink skin and her mother's hair, and I don't know where the eye colour came from. She's got brown eyes. And Daryl, well, he's inherited his father's hair and his mother's green skin. And of course, Cindy inherited the green skin from her father, who happens to be Daryl's grandfather, Don. Cindy and Daryl will now concentrate on their xylophone and blocks skills, while the other 4 toddlers have completed their xylophone and blocks skills, so they'll be learning to walk, talk and potty. Looks like some of them have finished walking and are now learning to talk. And Jimmy is learning his potty skills now. Won't take him long and he'll be all trained. Once he's finished, he'll be reading books for quite a while. James, his dad, is obviously very excited about how smoothly all this toddler training is going at the moment. Let's hope it stays that way. James is now teaching Francine to talk, while Denise works on her xylophone skill. And Jimmy is over there playing with his imaginary friend doll, and there is, on the left, is little Daryl. You can see his hair colour. I think it's a really pretty colour on him with that green skin that he's got. Suits him better than it suits his father, that hair. And Donna's gone down to the group science project again. It's a very attractive object, that thing. The quads have now learned their toddler skills, and here they are reading their skill books. That will help them develop skills later on. They'll be starting at level 3 instead of level 0 when they grow up a bit. Oh my goodness, Donna has gone into labour on the group science project. Never seen that happen before. Wonder if she should go to hospital, or if she's just going to give birth there. There's nobody to panic. They're all upstairs. It's because she came down here all by herself without telling anyone. She's still going, and she's still on the group science project. I suspect that she's not going to make it to hospital now. Looks like we're going to see a birth on the group science project. It's always something new with the Sims. And she had twins, a girl named Elsie and a boy named Charlie. So now we've got 8 little Sims in this household. And of course they will also need to learn their toddler skills and read their books before we can even think about going back to Moonlit Falls. But there won't be any more pregnancies in this world at the moment. And it looks like she had some pretty valuable lifetime wishes for having these babies, because she got a total of 7,500 lifetime happiness points just for giving birth to a little girl. And there's little Elsie. And of course, the 2 new babies are both fairies. That's Charlie. It looks like Charlie's got his father's green skin, because Gary inherited the green skin from Don. And the little girl took after her mother. And there's Bill teaching his little son Daryl how to walk, and Cindy's teaching Denise how to walk. And there's Petunia learning her science skill. I do hope she doesn't get to level 10 before she moves out, because if she does, she'll have to leave her group science project reward here, and when she moves out she won't be able to take it with her. Unless you happen to have a mod that will allow you to buy it from Bodybug. Patricia seems to have got bored at home, and she's tried to get into a nightclub of some sort, but the bouncer wouldn't let her in. She obviously isn't a high enough celebrity, and she is still only a teen, so she's heading off home and she's not very happy about it. Back at home, toddler training continues. Bill and Cindy's twins are learning to walk, talk and potty, and the quads are still reading their toddler skill books. And it's time for Gary and Donna's twins to age up to toddler. We'll finally get to see what their wings look like. Have Charlie aging up first. So he looks a bit like a chip off the old block, doesn't he? He obviously takes after his daddy, Gary, with that green skin. And he might even have Gary's hair colour. And he doesn't have his mother's wings. He's got his own set of wings. They're blue, and they are a different type of wing from Donna's. And here is little Elsie. She's about to age up. Looks like she's got red or orange wings. When I saw their wings, I was tempted to take them into Create a Sim and change them to wings like their mother, but then I thought, no, I'll leave them with what they got when they aged up. Add a bit of individuality to the family. And it's now time for this pair to start their toddler training. I think when I saw she had those curly wings that I decided I would leave them both as they are. Her auntie Carla was quick off the mark to start potty training the little toddler. Out in the main room, there are 6 toddlers reading toddler books now, so they've all finished their xylophone and peg box, as well as their walk, talk and potty training. And now Elsie and Charlie are ready to start learning their toddler skills, and they've begun with pegbox and xylophone skills, although Elsie has learnt to potty already. So now we have 8 very busy toddlers. It's always helpful to have several young adults and teens in a household when you've got a whole lot of toddlers like this. And it's also good, I find, to keep them busy. I know that they have more higher relationship with their parents if their books are read to them, but I'd never get them trained. There's too many of them, doing them one at a time. We'd have about 8 episodes of toddler training. So once they've read their books, the next step in toddler training is to rotate them through the playpens. And while they're in the playpens, they will play with the other little toddler that's in the playpen with them until they've maximised their friendship with their playmate in the playpen. And then they will play with the abacus for a while and the mirror as well. It's more important for them to play with the abacus at first, but once they have maximised their relationship with most of the other toddlers, well, then they can play more with the mirror because they'll have extra friends, and playing with the mirror will get them quite a high charisma skill, although I don't keep them in there for long enough to get their charisma up to the maximum possible. In the past, I've had toddlers in the playpen get up to about level 6 or 7 in charisma just by playing with all of the other toddlers in turn in the playpen and getting them to play with the mirror. But I don't think it's worth all the effort because they can learn charisma just as fast once they grow up and start interacting with other Sims. And I want them grown up and at school so I can take Cindy and her family back to Moonlit Falls, because the rest of them are all staying here, in their own homes of course. And as you might have noticed, once they've made friends with all of the other toddlers, I put them in the walkers and they can play in the walker for a while. So between the playpen, which gives them charisma from playing with the mirror and logic from playing with the abacus, and then when they play in the walker, they get some handiness skill. So these toddlers are going to end up with quite a few skills, but I'm only letting them play for long enough to get 1 or 2, maybe even 3 points in logic, handiness and possibly charisma. Time passes and they've all worked very hard to learn all of their toddler skills and read their toddler books, and it's time for the quads to age up. And here is little Jimmy first. He is going to blow out his candles and he will become a little child, ready to start school. And he gives his mum a final toddler snuggle before she puts him on the floor and he spins into his child form. It's time to eat the cake. There happens to be some seating areas out in the backyard, so they all head out there, and most of them decide not to sit, they'll just stand there and eat their cake. Donna and Gary are both having a seat though. It is their backyard. Everybody else are just staying here. It's Donna and Gary and Tricia and Junior are the 4 occupants of this household, plus of course Donna's and Gary's twins that were just born and they're toddlers now. But we've got 3 more toddlers to age up to child now, so we'd better get on with it. It'll be Francine's turn next. So Carla went downstairs and found her little daughter Francine and brought her up to the birthday cake so she could blow out her candles and become a child just like her big brother Jimmy. So the candles are blown out and Francine is put on the floor so she can spin into her child form. And there she goes. She had an unfortunate accident with her hair, so she went into stylist immediately and had her makeover very quickly. Jimmy hasn't had his yet. So the time has arrived for everybody to have another piece of cake. And Carla's not going to miss out. She's got hers. Oh, look, and there's Francine after her makeover. I gave her long hair And she inherited her blue skin from her father, James, and there he is in his blue outfit. That little building behind them there, that is just the opening to a staircase that goes down to the group science project. I gave them 4 levels of basement because that's necessary for the group science project, but I didn't put basement under their entire lot. It's just a small section of their lot that has got basements in it. I'll give Jimmy his new outfits shortly. I just did Francine because she got a broken hair and I didn't want that in the video. It looked terrible. After all of the plates had been washed up, Carla went down and collected her second toddler daughter, Betty. And it was time for Betty's candles to be blown out. And there's still another cake there for candles to be blown out. There's Betty blowing out her candles as Donna comes up the steps. Now she's on the floor, waiting to spin into her child form. That's her Uncle Gary. The quads were in their sleeping outfits, so when they transform into child, they end up in their child sleepwear. But I will change it. I don't want them sleeping in what they've default turned into. And there is Betty with her new hair. Oh, she changed out of her sleepwear into a dress. And now it's time to eat her cake. I'm sure some of them must be getting quite stuffed by now. I hope nobody puts on a lot of weight. I don't think they will. Not everybody got a piece of every cake, so there's some hope that they might stay just as they are. It's interesting, they're washing their plates in the ice see-through sink. And there's one final birthday to be celebrated, and that will be little Amelia. And then it'll be the end of this video. In the next video, we will see the quads and their parents move out to live in the house next door. At the moment, that house is empty. And this time, Petunia went and got the little birthday girl and carried her up to her cake. And Petunia will hold her while she blows out her candles. Carla seems to have decided that 3 was enough to hold for blowing out of candles. Somebody else could do the 4th one. Let's all whistle and sing and shout and cheer, and then out go the candles. Petunia finds a vacant spot on the floor and puts Amelia down carefully, and she waits for Amelia to turn. There she goes, spinning into her child form. And now we've got all 4 of the quads have now aged up successfully, and they're all children. So they need to learn their child skills. But they won't learn them until they move into their own home, which will be in the next episode. So I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have enjoyed it, please give it a like. And thank you very much for people who have subscribed. And anyone who hasn't subscribed yet and would like to make sure they don't miss any episodes, well then subscription might be a good idea. So we'll watch them eat some cake and have a close with a hilarious session of them washing their dishes in a transparent ice sink. We'll play that out to music. So thank you for watching. Bye bye for now, and happy simming.